has to be a video. Wow, God, y'all here already. Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. Of course, we're coming to you again live on R&B singer R.Kelly. I was trying to include my sister in this video. I sent her the invite. I don't see where she has accepted it yet. I hope I have done it right. But while we're waiting on her to come on, give you a brief update of what's going on with R.Kelly. R.Kelly net worth is at $1 million. So technically it means that R.Kelly is broke. All this week we're going to be doing stories on R.Kelly from the beginning and how did we get here and how did he go broke. R.Kelly should be worth at least over $200 or $300 million by now, but bad investments, mismanagement of accounts is what his lawyer is saying. So we'll look into all of that this week. And when we first met R.Kelly, which I think was in the early 80s or mid 80s, and then he came out with Public Enemy. After that, he began to do his own thing, and he was a success like overnight. Okay, R.Kelly has 10 indictments against him. He has pleaded guilty in court today through his attorney. His bond is $1 million, $250,000 for each count. He has to pay 10% of that. That's right at $100,000, which he doesn't have. Now, some of R. Kelly's female fans have started several GoFundMe pages to get the R&B singer released. Now, I can't confirm this. I tried to do it before we went on air, but I couldn't confirm it. I received an email, but I'm not sure if it's legit yet, that some fans have came up with that money to bail R. Kelly out, and he is to be released sometime today. Do not hold me to that. Do not quote me on that. I haven't verified that yet, but we are indeed looking into it. Now, coming from what his attorney said, Steve Greenberg, that he could have been released the weekend, but whoever wrote the check, they're waiting to speak with bank officials to make sure that that money is in there to cover his bail. So we got a couple of different stories going here, but the minute we find out that he is being released, of course, we will come back and let you all know that R. Kelly is being released. If he is convicted on all counts, he could spend up to 70 years in prison. However, there is some discrepancy about one of the charges that is on the table now. Supposedly, this is the same case that was tried several years ago, and you can't do that because it's double jeopardy. The only way you can do that is if it's the same person, but there's something new that has come up, something totally different. Then, you have to wear your odds, can we not? So that's another story. But if it's the exact same case as before, you cannot do it. Now, many people are upset because they don't want R. Kelly to make bail. They want justice to be served. It was imperative to me that I do this quick video to let some people know how hypocritical you can be. Now, first of all, the attorney who keeps coming up with these damn VHS tapes, I'm wondering who has had these tapes this long and how did he get them? And I know he's representing two people, but regardless of R. Kelly's guilt or innocence, where did you get the tapes from? Who has been in possession of these tapes for over a damn decade? They were discontinued. VHS tapes were discontinued back in, I think it says 1998. but they was continued being used until 2002. So now that means somebody has had these VHS tapes. Who had them and why is what we would like to know. Because I'm always leery as to why certain things pop up at certain times. I do believe that there may be some hidden agenda with the, okay, I can hear you. There is, I believe, hidden agenda because he is so angry because he don't want R.Kelly to make bail. But if we look at due process of the law, thank you. If we look at due process of the law, we have to realize one thing is that we can't ask for justice on one end. We cannot ask for justice on one end, and we don't want to hear about things on the other end that is beneficial to R.Kelly. Here's what I'm trying to say. If the law states, regardless to the crime, or how serious the crime is, if the law states that it's at the judge's discretion whether or not an individual can have a bail, well, it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. Now, the prosecutors had a no arrest, no bail arrest. Well, that's the prosecution, and they can do that. But ultimately, as we know now, it is up to the judge in the courtroom to decide whether or not that individual received bail. And, of course, he did grant R.Kelly bail and ordered him to turn over his passport, which we knew that was going to happen. But these tapes keep popping up, and the tape that has popped up now that Attorney Michael has turned in claims to be more graphic than the one that they have now. I'm wondering why are these tapes coming bit by bit, bit by bit. If you have 20 of them, bring 20 tapes now and put them on the table. Bring 20 tapes now and put them on the table. I just believe he has a hidden agenda somewhere. He's extremely angry. He tried and convicted and sentenced R.Kelly outside of the courtroom day one when the judge gave him a bail. And of all people, he should know better because he passed the bar exam. That's something you cannot do. You cannot degrade people on the streets. That's why the indictments were handed down. Now it's up to the courts to decide what penalties to impose on R.Kelly if he is convicted. Now, many people are upset with me this day because I said I would be glad first if they give R.Kelly a bond. When he was given a bond, I said I was happy. So they cannot understand why I wanted the singer to get a bond. First of all, it's my prerogative. Secondly, it's really due process of the law. Because I want R.Kelly to get a bail, that means I condone what he is accused of doing. Well, that makes no earthly damn sense. But I'm smart enough to know that position determines perspective. What you see depends upon where you're standing. So if you think because I'm okay with him having a bail, that means that I'm condoning the acts he is being accused of, well then I'm not going to try to change your mind because it is what it is, it ain't what it ain't. Whatever you think, you think. But you have to look at the law. You cannot be okay with some things on this end. You cannot pick and choose parts of the legal, criminal justice system that sits well with you, and other parts, I don't like that. We shouldn't do this. Well, if you don't like that, then maybe you should go and talk to the people that write the laws and stuff and tell them not to do this and not to do that. Just like Attorney Michael came out and had a damn temper tantrum in the middle of the floor after R.Kelly was given a bail. His opportunity in the courtroom was to go against that, and he did not succeed. R.Kelly has been given a bail. It's just like some ministers. Well, the Old Testament don't matter no more. That was done back then. So you can't worry about that. Until Sunday mornings when you're in their church and it's time to take up money. And the first thing they say, will a man rob God? You damn right he will. We cannot pick and choose things from the law that sits well with us. For instance, the individual that killed my nephew, back on October the 1st of last year. He has a bail. He has a bond. $500,000. The DA calls and says, Mr. Scott, he has come up with the money to make bail. Okay, it is what it is. If he comes up with the money to make bail, then he just does. That doesn't bother me. Our emotions does not count. And this is kind of ugly. But our emotions does not count when it comes to what thus says the law. So we have to sometimes put our personal beliefs, our personal feelings on the back end. If you want R.Kelly to be processed through the legal system, then you have to be willing to accept what the legal system says that they can do and they cannot do. R.Kelly, I listen to his music. I just listened to his music the other day. Let me tell you something. This man is a genius. But you cannot get upset with me or anyone when they say, I'm still going to listen to R. Kelly's music. I hope somebody bails him out. So that means that you condoning what he's doing. No, that's just your way of thinking, which is super stupid. R. Kelly has reignited careers that was dead. He has worked with some of the best, written some of the best songs that you're still listening to. You're Not Alone, Michael Jackson. He helped bring Charlie Wilson back to life. Janet Jackson, you name it, R. Kelly touched it. And everything he touched turned to gold. So why am I taking this here? That it's sad that those people will not go to his rescue and help bond him out. If they help bond him out, they are afraid that the public is going to say they are okay what he's doing. And you cannot live a life like that. Let somebody cage you up and tell you what you can and you cannot do. If it's not a story, people are going to make a story. That's regardless. So whatever sometimes you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If he makes bail today, I hope he does. I will be extremely happy for R. Kelly. He has been accused of some evil, ugly, diabolical, despicable things. Let's let the court decide what happens to R. Kelly. Let's not be upset because someone pays his bail. Let's not call the female friends that have set up many GoFundMe pages that these are some lost little girls. They are just sad. They should be silent. They should shut up. Why? If the law says he can have a bond and somebody wants to bond him out, okay. I want justice done. You have to, if you respect justice on one end, you have to respect it on the other end. The only difference between R. Kelly and some other people out there, we know what he has done or what he is being accused of. Some of y'all have done the same damn thing. We just don't know about it. We just don't know about it. Nobody is raising hell about Donald Trump being locked up for all of his alleged sexual acts against women. A woman came forward about 2 hours ago. She was on his campaign team. She's now filing suit against him for inappropriate contact and kissing her without her consent. He goes through life grabbing pussy. Nobody says nothing. He still sits in the White House and pretend he's the damn president. You're not pushing that issue. If it bothers you so, and it bothers me, but if it really bothers you so about the things that happen to children sexually that should not happen, you should be bothered on every damn end. Many of y'all who are coming out against R. Kelly, you're not saying a damn thing about the freaky Catholic priest that has been doing this since the beginning of time, and it's getting worse, worse, and worse. Somebody says, I've been begging for Trump to be locked up. Good afternoon, Dolores Bowers. Me too. He should have been locked up a long time ago. One of my sisters called me this morning, Brenda. We were talking about R. Kelly. And she felt the same way that I felt. He should be released on bond. He should be. Not only should he be released on bond, and I'm not saying all parents, I'm going to say it again because some people are slow, not all parents, but a lot of parents knew what was going on with their children. They were okay with it. These were poor black girls from the ghetto, from the projects, from the hood, didn't have nothing. And some of the parents pimped them out to R&B sensation R.Kelly. And they kept their mouth shut because they were getting paid. It's as simple as that. So when we prosecute R.Kelly, we must dig into the parents and see what role did they play. We must diligently find out, how could you let your child go missing for weeks and months and years and not sound a damn alarm? No Amber Alert, nobody on the damn milk carton. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So again, before you start sending me stupid emails and I have to put you on blast, I'm not saying that I'm condoning what the singer has been accused of. I'm saying due process of the law is a must. You can't pick and choose which end of justice that you are okay with and you're not okay with. We're innocent until proven guilty. We know that was written backwards. We know that. But let's not be so quick to condemn him in public and don't give the courts an opportunity to do what they should be doing. When the 10-count indictment came down, all that says is that there's probable cause to lock this entertainer up. And so after that, and he turned himself in, Mike and who else is representing some of the alleged victims, come out and give press releases. That's your right to do that. But you do not come out and kill him and say, I know he did this and I know he did that. No. You let the courts prove it. And even if you know it, you wait until it's over before you come out and say, he's guilty. He's going to go out if he's released today and molest another little girl. You can't say that. You cannot say that. And you know as an attorney, you just crossed that red line. Some things you can say and some things you cannot say and some things you just shouldn't say. We can think any damn thing we want to think in this country. It's just not always good to say what we are thinking. If R.Kelly is found guilty, R.Kelly must pay the price. And that is up to the court system. Whatever they deem necessary, whatever punishment they deem necessary, then let it be. It's as simple as that. But don't call the people out there, the girls out there, that are raising money for R.Kelly to get out of jail. Does that mean that they agree with what he's doing? No. It's probably stupid what I'm about to tell you, but it might mean that they might just have a heart. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. When we looked at the individual that killed my nephew, he has 5 children. My niece is my nephew. Every time I would see them, one thought came to mind. I don't want them to take the man away from their kids too long. Now that may sound stupid, but it don't have a damn thing to do with Kristen. It doesn't have a damn thing to do with that. I looked at his kids, and I know they love their dad, and I'm sure that their daddy loves them. So some people in the family was upset with that, and then some people were not upset with that. Okay, Yvette's trying to get in. She says, how do I, John? I sent you an invite. Let me try to do it again. She's trying to come in. Okay, I think she's coming in now. We can't hold her too long because I know she's on her lunch break and stuff. So, and my leniency didn't have anything to do with him. Okay, I think it may be a button up or something up there, Yvette, that you pushed to come in because you have been added. And just as soon as she pushed that or whatever, we will. I guess she'll come in. But while we're waiting on her to come in, again, if someone wants to help someone get out of jail, who are we to stand in the way? If the money can be raised to let him go, then to get out on bail, then so be it. When he heard about the indictments, he turned himself in. Didn't have to go looking for him. He showed up at the police station. They took him on in. His passport has been confiscated. so he cannot leave the country.
It went away.
And I do believe, just like the last, that he will cooperate. Okay, I see Yvette, but she is not moving. She's just sitting there still. She's moving now. Hello, how are you? Now you're moving. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am great. I'm glad you joined us today because I'm tired of talking and I need a female's perspective on the issue that's dealing with R.Kelly. And we can understand people's frustration about what has happened to the little girls and stuff, but and if he is found guilty, okay, then you and I have already agreed and know that, yeah, he should be punished, whatever that punishment be is handed down by the law. So, what do you think about those that don't want R. Kelly to make bail?
Well, in my brother's infamous words, I think it's super stupid. He hasn't been found guilty as of yet, so why can't he have bail? People who have done worse are out on bail.
Exactly. Now, with the VHS tapes, you and I talked a little while ago. Does that somewhat bothers you? Is that suspect to you, a hidden agenda that they keep popping up one by one?
Yeah, and who turned in the VH tape? This last one, the same guy.
The same guy, Michael said. Yeah, Michael just got this one again. The attorney for two of the alleged victims.
Okay, who did he turn it into this time?
This time, I'm glad you said that. He didn't turn it into CNN first. He turned it into the courts today.
Yeah. But let me see. Has he revealed how long he had the first one, the first VHS tape?
No, not publicly. He has not revealed how long he has had the VHS tape.
Something to me, this is my opinion. I think that he has a personal vendetta for some reason. Because did he just get the tape? I don't know when the second one came out. Did it come out today?
It came out today, and this is what he says, and I'm paraphrasing that he just got hold to this one. And I think he later said something to the extent about we may be able to get another one. And this one is supposed to be more graphic than the one he let CNN see before he took it to the authorities.
Something's not right with that. I still haven't seen the entire footage of when he was upset about, him being getting bail. And I've just been told I haven't seen it. But to me, it's like it's personal. And I'm not understanding why.
Well, I totally agree with you because when he speaks with anger. You can see it in his eyes, his facial expressions. You can hear it in his voice. And I mean, it was his chance to vent to the judge when the judge agreed to give R. Kelly a bond. But instead, whatever his case was that he presented to the judge for R. Kelly not to have bail, well, it didn't sit well with the judge because he was given the bail. But then the attorney comes out and he just goes off.
But back to when you asked me how I felt about people getting upset about him getting bail. Well, you know that some people are raising, I guess, they started a GoFundMe page for him. Some of his fans. I don't have a problem with that because the main goal, they set up funds for him. GoFundMe pages for him to build that wall. So what's the problem?
Exactly.
I'm not
exactly. Good point.
What he did or he did. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's guilty, but everybody is innocent until proven guilty. And if that's what they want to do, I don't have a problem with it. Until he is found guilty and whatever, then I don't have a problem with it. Who are we to judge?
Yeah, and exactly. And I feel, the exact same way. Then you had the little boy recently started another GoFundMe page to help get money for Trump's unnecessary wall.
Exactly.
And that's been shared so many times through Facebook, you know, and nobody's saying anything about it.
They think it's cute.
They've been calling the girl senseless. Exactly. I think it's cute, you know, but the R.Kelly's female friends have been called stupid, immature, dumb for starting
Groupies.
the GoFundMe. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, right before you came on, what I was telling the people is that we can't pick and choose parts of the criminal justice system that sits well with us and don't like the other ones and go against it.
Yep, you can't cherry pick.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, what's good for you is good. You know, just like, I know it's a different subject, but people get upset with me because I get upset, you know, about Bill Cosby. Well, he's been accused, tried, sentenced, and is serving his time. But you got others walking around here and haven't seen the inside of a courtroom as of yet.
Exactly.
Understanding that. I'm not condoning what he did. I'm not saying I'm not condoning. We need to have an entirely different show about that one. But I'm just, the injustice, the unfairness. It's not cool.
It's not. It's not. And some of these women, I mean, this happened like 50 some years ago, and they can remember everything, you know, that happened. But some of them, yeah, you can't. If you ask them what color bra they had on 2 weeks ago, baby, you know, my mind ain't just the same. I don't know. What did I have on a bra? No. And so it's not right, you know, because each girl, alleged victim with Bill Cosby, you ever notice they all had the same story?
Yeah, and people get upset with me because, you know, they say that, you know, people don't jump on the bandwagon. Yes, they can. All they need is the root. And they just branches, add and on. They can add to the story, say the same story. Yes, you can. To me, that's easier to believe that everybody's jumping on the bandwagon versus people making up stories, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. And so, I mean, and that was a red flag to me. I'm like, okay, well, you ever notice every alleged victim tells the exact same story? And some of these women that was taking these pills, they was taking them to get high. They knew what they were doing.
And they went back.
So it's not like he was just raping them.
And some of them went back.
And some of them went back for round 2 and round 3. So it couldn't have been that damn bad. But now, the other attorney here, before we go, Gloria, I can't think of her last name. She's on air now with 2 more alleged victims telling things that he allegedly have done to them. I don't like her because she's money hungry. And I think she just sits there like a director and a producer, and she guides them as to what to say and what not to say, how to look and how not to look.
Exactly.
And stuff. So, right before you came in, I don't know if you heard someone. I received an email that someone has come up with the money to bail R.Kelly out. I don't know if that's true yet, but they sent it to me. I tried to do some fact checking before we went on air, but
his celebrity friends aren't helping him.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. No, and I don't like that because
he's helped so many people.
You become a slave to the industry.
He's helped so many people,
he has,
despite what he's doing or been accused of doing, and. Whether you know, they could donate it anonymously. You know, he has helped so many people's careers. You know, I'm not understanding that.
And that bothers me too because, if I try to always be on the side of right. You know, it's not that I'm picking sides. It's just I'm looking at it from a legal perspective, and just from the God in me, I guess if you're gonna be fair here, we must be fair on this end as well. You know, that's due process of the law. You can't say, well, you just said we can't cherry pick. You know, now this man is the reason some people still have a career today, and they haven't said a mumbling word. They won't send $1. Some of them being told, I want you to pull that record, get rid of that. You and R.Kelly did this back in 19, and these folks are doing this. Because they have become a slave to the industry and they're bought and they're paid for. If you don't, This is going to ruin your career. Listen, do not become a fan of R. Kelly or anybody because you put them on a pedestal sometimes that they cannot stand on. So what you do, become a fan of their work. That's what you do. Become a fan of what they do. And when something like this comes up, whether guilty or innocent, you won't be so disappointed because just the other day when I was in the tub, I played at least 20 of R. Kelly's songs.
Yeah, I'm not going to not play his music. His music has nothing to do with what he did or didn't do.
And they have people out now mute R. Kelly. Why? And this is comical, but I'm so serious. A lot of ugly men, they know one damn thing. Don't laugh. I'm serious. Don't hold your head up. Listen, a lot of ugly men, they owe R. Kelly. They owe the Pied Piper today because a lot of them would not have been able to have sex with certain women, and they know it. So they need to be given to the GoFundMe pages. So if you stop listening to his music, what does that do? It don't do anything.
It doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything.
It's like Cosby Show.
You know,
I still watch his show, The Cosby Show. He didn't do anything.
I still watch that too. I still watch it and stuff. So we want to condemn some, just let others get out of jail free card and never bring it up. I was trying to get stats before we went on air. It's how many times R. Kelly's story has been shared through Facebook. Because let me tell you something. I mean, when it hit every other post, R. Kelly. But when we bring up things about what's the guy named Harvey, the other freaky guy from Hollywood,
Weinstein.
Yeah, I mean, that's like you don't talk about that no more. You know, and stuff. So again, we're not condoning what R. Kelly has been accused of doing, but if you're going to be for right on one end, then we must be for right on the other end, you know. And again, before I go, I don't care what nobody says. Yvette, some parents knew what was going on.
I say
some parents were pimping their girls out to R. Kelly.
They did. I believe that as well.
Yeah, they knew. And so now that's what I'm upset about. Nobody's raising any hell about that. Nobody's coming on. Where's this attorney getting all these VHS tapes from? And how long has he had them? And it's ugly what I'm about to say, but
because if somebody gave,
well, he's not saying. Well, at least I hadn't pulled it up yet. Well, how he says he's received them, but I'm just leery as to how long he's had them and who is giving him these tapes, and why do they have them, and what have they been doing with them in their possession? Because these are VHS; these are not DVDs.
Exactly. Because I'm thinking, okay, if you had possession of them, why, and you meant to do the right thing, meaning whoever gave them to him, why didn't they take them to the police when they got them?
Exactly. You know, and I have a problem with him taking them to CNN before taking them to the proper authorities.
Exactly.
You know, and stuff. So he's in a rush to condemn and convict. He don't want to listen. He hates R. Kelly. It's something personal going on because when he speaks, you can see the anger in his voice. You can hear him how he talks about it. That day when R. Kelly first went before the judge, he came out and I felt bad for R. Kelly, the way he talked about him. If R. Kelly did these things, okay, R. Kelly, he must pay the price. And whatever the state says he served, then, oh, well, that's it. You know? So if you can be okay with the indictment coming down against R. Kelly, then you have to be okay with the judge saying, I'm going to give him a bond.
Exactly. If you got a problem, talk to the judge about it.
He had that opportunity, and the judge said, get out, we're done. He's going to get a bond, $1 million, $250 for each account. And it's as simple as that. So then you come out, you give your press release, but you don't get emotionally involved in this. The burden is on the state now. The burden of proof is on the state. You don't come out and condemn and speak derogatory terms about the man. I don't care how devastating the videos are, how upsetting they are. Like one girl said, when she told him at first, she was 14, and he didn't care and wanted her to still have sex. And allegedly, she says he spit in her face and began to choke her. I think several girls have also said that too. You know,
how can
so you let the Yeah, very, very sickening and stuff, But and so we know they were of age there. So whatever the court says, if he is found guilty, then it is what it is. But briefly, before we go, Jessica, was it Jessica? Jocelyn Savage, the girl that has been allegedly held captive in his coat, entered into the courtroom not today when he first went, and she wasn't there as a victim. The first two rows were for R. Kelly's family and close friends, and she sat on the front row, and she was there to support R. Kelly. Now her parents said they can't confirm that she was there, but if she was, that all that means is she's been brainwashed by R. Kelly. So and in all fairness, yeah, I do believe, from what we've seen, what we know, he is guilty on some of these things, but I can't say all of them because I don't know about the others. But from what we know and what we have, like, okay, yeah, that's R. Kelly. One of the problems with the case last time when he first went up is that they couldn't really say that was him for sure. That's what they said. So we are going to keep a close eye on this. Every day this week, we will be doing a story on R. Kelly. Starting tomorrow, we're going to look back at how his career got started. And then we'll go into how did we get here? How did we get here? We're also going to address his financial woes and stuff, And
that's another thing I want to say. That's another thing I want to say, talk about right quick. People are saying that they don't understand how, well, he's lying about the $100,000, him not having it. Well, for months or a couple of years now, he's been not paying his mortgage and this and that. So he may be telling the truth. I don't know that.
Well, yes. And I strongly believe that R. Kelly is telling the truth. I think last year he got evicted from his mansion. And he was having problems in his studio, making payments and stuff. And his attorney says it goes back to bad deals. It goes back to lawsuits. And mismanagement of funds. So I really believe that R. Kelly is only worth $1 million, if that. Don't forget now, he has had a lot of lawsuits against him, and some of them he has settled out of court for undisclosed amounts, so we don't know. So R. Kelly is really broke. He is. He is. Because we got to remember now, the United States was just, concerts was being canceled back to back after this popped back up with Lifetime surviving R. Kelly.
Okay.
And they're saying that he's lying about that because of child support. Child support does not have anything to do with what's going on right now with this. It don't even connect. It doesn't connect. Not at all.
Hey, I need to go. But
okay.
We'll talk soon. I guess we'll talk again.
We will. I'm going to upload this very shortly. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come and do the show with me today. Just duck and dodge now, all I can tell you.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Right, bye.
All right, y'all. Thank you all for tuning in. And as always, if the Lord says the same and the creek don't rise, we'll be back tomorrow around about the same time. If he makes bail today, we will come and let you know that R. Kelly has made bail. As always, I thank you all for watching. I thank you all for your support. And please go subscribe to the